Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTube. My name is Malcolm, and based on the title of this video, I suspect you came to learn maybe something different about the carnivore diet. Oops, bumped the camera. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know if I'm going to do this every week, but I've got stuff I wanted to say, and it just needs to get off my chest. I watched thousands, not thousands, probably a good minimum of 100 videos of people raving about the carnivore diet and transforming their lives and making people better looking. And I mean, the list of just transformative effects are just so long. And I just wanted to share my experiences having been on this 2 weeks now. Granted, it's only 2 weeks, and I understand that. A few disclaimers before I kind of get into my experience and get into the meat, of this video. A few things. Number one, I'll post this on my Florida Beach Living channel. You're probably, if you are one of my 250 subscribers, you come for things about my garden, turtles, flora and fauna, living on the east coast of Central Florida. I may make another channel just specific for this. I don't know where things are going to go. Maybe I'll do this every week. Maybe I'll do it every 2 weeks. I don't know. But if you're like, dude, I came here for the pretty beach photos and the turtles going on the beach. What are you doing talking about carnivore diet? My apologies. I'd still be thrilled if you subscribed, if you love the intersection of meat-based diets and videos every 3 to 4 months about living at the beach in Florida. Speaking of intersections, another disclaimer here. I am a host of a podcast called CDO Matters, Chief Data Officer Matters. I've got nearly 100 episodes of that, and I'm all over YouTube. So it's not like I'm trying to maintain any sort of anonymity here because I'm not. I'm a Chief Data Officer for a software company, and I do a lot of podcasts related to data. So another Venn diagram here. If you're actually one of the rare people who is doing a meat-based diet, and a nerd like me is passionate about data. Wow, what a three-ring Venn diagram. If you are passionate about understanding living on the beach in Florida, meat-based diets, and data, well, then you are truly a unicorn, and my hat's off to you, whoever you are. We should probably have a coffee someday. Anyway, to the meat of the issue. Carnivore, why? Boy, I'll spare all of the details. I'll go into some detail, but to make a long story short, as I've aged, I'm in my mid-50s now, I've slowly developed more and more of these just nagging maladies. I don't know how else to describe these nagging maladies. I'll just call them that. Weird things like phlegm after every meal, suggesting some sort of allergic response to the food that I'm eating. Fatigue. For sure, general fatigue, brain fog type stuff. Again, suggesting maybe sensitivities to food. I've developed just weird little strange things that shouldn't necessarily be happening, but they're all starting to kind of pile up, and they all kind of circle back to just kind of general immune response. I'll give you another example: rashes and allergic responses, like just getting used to get bit by mosquitoes, just a little bump, nothing much. I'll get bit by a mosquito now, and I'll have like a $50 size, a US $50 size welt for a good 15 minutes. So like my body is in this state of kind of histamine, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Sensitivity to smells that I never had before. Sensitivity to food that I never had before. I can smell plastic off-gassing a half mile away. I can't actually spend much time in a Target or a Walmart because of the off-gassing. Like those shops that do like sell the costumes and the gifts and those, I forget what those shops are called, but they're all like this cheap Chinese plastic. I can't even walk into those stores because there's so much off-gassing from plastic. I developed sensitivity to polyester. I'm like, and like what? So my body is in this has slowly taken on this kind of this and it's always in a state of some sort of response to something, and it doesn't need to be responding. My body is in this kind of fight or flight mode. I get plenty of sleep. I eat incredibly well, like extremely well, like at least by kind of traditional medicinal eat well. I exercise a lot, walk 3 miles a day. I'm not a gym rat or anything, but I'm 6'2", 190. Okay, so I'm not overweight. My vice is beer and wine. I love beer. I love beer. But that's really kind of the only vice that I've got, and I only drink on the weekends, right? So yeah, I probably drink too much on the weekends. 4 drinks-ish, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's probably too much, but I don't drink during the week, and I generally eat quite well, and I generally take care of myself. I'm outside. I get a ton of sunshine. I'm living here in Florida. You can tell maybe with the tan and whatnot. So I'm living what I think is a reasonable life, and with good nutrition and exercise and activity. And I've got a great life, right? I'm not like extremely stressed all the time. I'm not stressed about, a lot of things that people typically are stressed a lot. I don't think, at least I am. Yet, I've got all these maladies and these growing list of maladies. I could continue, but I don't want to bore you with all that. So, over the last few years, I've stopped drinking every now and then, hasn't done anything. I'll go, a month, 2 months without drinking, hasn't really done much of anything. People say, okay, well, try elimination diets. Okay, well, what do I eliminate, right? There's 5,000 things that I appear to be sensitive to, or at least I've developed, I think. What am I going to stop, right? I'll pick one thing, and then I've got 800 other things in my diet, and I still don't know what is the one thing. So I landed on carnivore because it seemed like it was the lowest risk, most effective elimination diet. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm not like one of these guys you see, like, I don't want to be the mid-50s guys with like ripped and like, I'm going to lift 120. No, I just don't want to be coughing up phlegm every single morning, which is what I was doing. I don't want to be tired all the time. I don't want to smell, have, sensitivities to chemicals. And, oh man, one of the worst is Fabuloso, that cleaning product. Oh, I'm like a truffle pig for Fabuloso. I can literally smell that stuff a mile away. So I don't want to be the 50-year-old ripped guy. I don't. I just want to find balance, and I want to find health again. And after watching hundreds of videos on carnivore, I thought, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe this seems like a reasonable elimination. Okay, the minimum daily intake of carbs is 0. So that's, as Jordan Peterson would say, that's an awfully low number, and it is. So I looked at it and I said, okay, this seems to make some sense from an elimination perspective, and I am about as stubborn as you will find, and I work hard at everything that I do. And I said to myself, okay, I can do this. I can literally do anything for 3 months. So I committed to 3 months of this diet. Today is week 2, exactly. So that's my justification. That's what brought me to this lifestyle. I hate that. I doubt. Although I must say, it's slowly kind of becoming a lifestyle because of all the weird things you have to kind of do and embrace. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But those are the things that led me to this meat-based diet. So how's it been? It sucked. It sucked. I don't know any other way to put it. And, maybe you're going to be in the comments saying, yeah, stick with it. But why has it sucked? Geesh. Oh, the list is long. Let's first say, and this one is probably the easiest to deal with, but kind of the most impactful. I like food. I'm not overweight at all. I'm not obese, but I love the variability. I look forward to eating. I love the smoothness of a good hummus. I love the crunch of a piece of cauliflower. I like the diversity of foods. I like nuts, right? I like lots of different foods. I like salty things. I like sweet things. I've tried to cut out a lot of sugar in the past, by the way. So, stevia, and I'm still doing that in the carnivore. But, I just love the kind of the richness of the bounty in our lives and the things that we can have. And I really enjoy that. And this switch to this rich, fatty, like I feel like I'm going to throw up at any minute all the time. And it's this richness that the extremes here are so extreme that I went from very plant heavy, very high fiber meals, very, very like traditionally you would say, hey, great nutritional meals. Because my wife is an amazing chef and she's into this, like she's into nutrition and well-being, very much so. So don't eat high fat, don't eat a lot of sugar. I drink. But I've enjoyed all of that. I didn't know how much I enjoyed that until all I eat is like bacon, and I just miss it. But arguably, folks, that's the easiest part about this. I mean, I can just suck it up, right? I could do anything for 3 months. If you told me that I had to eat like cicadas for the next 3 months, I'd do it, right? If I felt like there was enough reward there, and I can do that. But in many ways, I feel like kind of like a prisoner of war. Like where they're sliding some sort of plate of gruel under my prison door every morning and oh boy, here's the gruel. Eating has gone from something that I enjoy, that I didn't know how much I enjoyed, to this chore. And it literally is a chore that I do not enjoy. I take no joy in eating all of this flesh, most of which from a meat perspective, because I'm not a zillionaire, is the high fat stuff or low quality pieces of meat. That I'm getting through these ribeyes. God, I had a piece of lamb tonight. It was half rubber. I swear to God, it was half rubber. So I miss that. The food just gross. The house stinks of bacon all the time. I mean, I'm sure I smell of bacon. Like if I go into the public, it's amazing that there isn't a pack of dogs walking behind me every day because I stink of bacon. And bacon is like, every day, bacon and eggs. That's what I'm having for breakfast, and I'm slurping up the fat. But just the richness, just like pork rinds. Thank God for pork rinds, but damn, pork rinds, right? Like I'm glad they're there because there's the only thing that I found that is crunch. Like, and I miss the crunch. I was like, oh God, I put a pork rind in my mouth. It's like, oh, it tastes bad, but hey, crunch. We got crunch. So, yay for the chicharrones. But, I am not enjoying the food at all. Number 2, body. I haven't seen anything yet. Nothing. As a matter of fact, all the symptoms that I had before seem to be worse. They seem to be worse. My fatigue levels are higher. The phlegm is still there. Now I've developed wheezing that I didn't have before. Dr. GPT thinks it's some sort of reflux from all the fat that I'm eating, from going from no fat to high fat, and now I've got some sort of reflux. So on top of all of the other crap that I talked about before, now I've got this reflux. And I was taking HCl, these supplements, to supposedly help me digest all the fat, and apparently Dr. GPT thinks that may be making things worse. I don't know. But I'm in this vice grip now because it's like, not enough water, too much water. I was like this weekend, I had headaches all weekend, horrible headaches all weekend. It was like, Dr. GPT, well, maybe too much water. Like, are you getting enough electrolytes? Yes, I've been pounding through the element stuff, which is like insanely expensive. Note to self, if the whole data thing doesn't work out for me in my profession, I'm gonna come back as a supplement maker because good grief, salt in a package, $2. $2 for these element things. It's just, anyway, I'm getting a lot of electrolytes. I'm drinking water a lot. Maybe this weekend I even drank too much water. Maybe that was my problem. Maybe that's why I had all of these headaches. I don't know, but my problems are as worse than they were before because, added bonus, not only have a lot of these phlegm and immune type responses are still there. Okay, 2 weeks, I'm willing to stick it out, and I'm going to stick it out. But I haven't had a normal haven't had a normal constitutional in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Sucks, right? When you go every day, when you are regular every day, like a metronome, and then 2 weeks straight, you got nothing going on, I feel like a balloon. I feel like this giant hot air balloon that's full of pork fat, and I'm about to pop. And I know that may sound dramatic, and it may not even be that funny to hear watching on YouTube. Like, good God, I'm going to turn this guy off. But it just is what it is, right? And I get it. My body was high fiber very nutritious, lots of vegetables, like in coming out of me, and now nothing. So on top of the $2 sugar packs, I'm doing other things that I need to do to chemically enhance the train leaving the station, which is no fun. So like, I'm like, I feel like I'm going to explode all the time, not only from this horrible fatty food, but from the fact that I'm not getting rid of any of it. Although I have lost 12 pounds that I didn't even expect to lose. I was basically 195. Now I'm down to like 183. So yeah, they said you'd shed a lot of water, and boy, oh boy, I'm shedding a lot of water, but I'm getting in a lot of electrolytes. Number 3, I travel a lot for work, and I'll tell you what, folks, holy cow, like no fun. I was at a conference last week where my lunch, sitting at a table with a bunch of coworkers, okay? And of course, this is like a conference, large food service thing, and it's, you get your choices of cold cut based sandwiches. And my lunch was, I had to destroy about a half a dozen sandwiches, where I got 2 plates in the buffet line. One plate was all the sandwiches, and the other plate was for the dead bodies that I had to kind of I took apart, so that the buns and everything else, so I could get at the high salt, high nitrate crap ham in the middle. But if I didn't, that's the only thing I was going to eat that day. And on top of that, I'm sitting there at this conference table with like a whole bunch of C-level executives, and we're talking about business challenges and everything else. And I'm like literally dissecting sandwiches in front of them. And it wasn't enough, so I had to ask the server for 6 sticks of butter. Not sticks, but the little butter packs. And there I am at my work conference, mowing down butter in front of everybody. I'm like, does not meld well to the frequent traveler. I mean, I travel about once a week, give or take. Next week I'll be in New York and DC. This week I'm not traveling. Thank the heavens. But I travel a lot. I don't even know how this is going to work. I don't know how this is going to work because it has not been fun. Breakfast, easy, right? Hotel buffet, I'll get some crap eggs, I'll get some crap bacon, but at least I'll have something in my stomach. And from there on out for the rest of the day, anyone's guess. Anyone's guess. The hotel I was at didn't actually serve lunch, right? So they had a dinner service, and they had, yes, of course, they had a burger, which was my dinner for 3 days straight at the Hyatt Cambridge in Massachusetts. So just not like my lifestyle did not align well to this meat-based diet. Number 4, shopping. Wow. On the bright side, with shopping, not a lot of fun, but drastically simplified. So for somebody like me who's into efficiency, is always trying to find more efficient ways of doing things, like basically just going to the meat section and that's it, has drastically simplified things. But I never knew until all of this how much other additional crap was in food. So I guess maybe that's one of the blessing and surprises, or blessing. Of all this is that I'm checking all the labels now. But a short trip to the grocery store, which for us here in Florida is the Publix, used to be a fairly easy and simple thing, and now I'm just sitting and looking at all these labels and spending a lot of time to walk out of the grocery store with food that I really don't enjoy. I did buy an air fryer, like the air fryer, the Chefman air fryer. I got it on Amazon Prime Days. For $40. Definitely recommend that. Apparently I've got to get a slow cooker as well, so I can slow cook all of this crap stew meat into a semi-palatable form. Otherwise I'm going to go broke buying New Yorks and ribeyes for the next 3 months. So the way to avoid going broke apparently is to eat like a peasant and to slow cook the meat overnight, so it is at least tender enough that my 56-year-old teeth can get through it. So, yeah, slow cooker, I got that to look forward to. And then, of course, there's always the chicharrones, which I sprinkle on the top to add a little crunch. And, hey, got a great prisoner meal. Can you tell I'm excited? So I'm a little negative on this. I'm having a rough go of it. I'm not sleeping very well. Yes, I suppose this is the keto flu. I've been pretty rigorous. I have not been having a lot of carbs at all. I've fallen into a few carbs. I thought raw milk was like supposed to be really good. I bought a gallon of raw milk from a local health food store. It's apparently chock full of casein, which I may or may not be sensitive to. I haven't quite figured that out yet because I have this wheezing and acid reflux after just about every meal now. Whether that's casein, whether that's GERD, I don't know. I'll keep asking Dr. GPT. But yeah, I've stumbled into a little bit of carbs here and there inadvertently. I didn't know, but apparently raw milk, as yummy as it is, ooh, raw milk is good. And yes, I put it in my mouth by accident. It was meant for my pets and my cattle herd. The labeling is just kind of classic here in Florida. Apparently, it's only for cow consumption that it's available at my local health food store. Oh, the irony. So I stumbled in a little bit of carbs here and there, but I have been 2 weeks. Definitely under 20 grams of carbs all day. A few things, coffee cream. There's some carbs there. That's about it. So I'm quite certain I've been in ketosis for a week? Question mark? So is this keto flu 2 weeks on? I don't know. Every muscle in my body's sore. Every muscle. And yeah, I did a lot of yard work this weekend, mowing the lawn, that kind of thing, but nothing that otherwise wouldn't faze me. But after this weekend, I feel like I've run multiple marathons. So there's that. So, before all of this meat-based diet stuff, I would have been able to work through the weekend and mow the lawn and pick weeds and that kind of stuff, and I wouldn't be stiff as a board, and now I am. So I don't know. Is that a keto transition? Too much water, not enough water, too much fat, not enough fat, too much protein, not enough protein? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel like I'm driving blind, and every time I turn on these videos, it's like this, oh my God, it's transformed my life, and this has transformed my life, and it's like, it's kind of culty, weird. I just want to be better. And I know everybody else did, and I'm not trying to be judgmental, but it's just like, I haven't heard anybody saying that, man, this can be a rough transition, and you better be ready to not go to the bathroom for 2 weeks straight, and you better be ready to be stiff as a board. You better be ready to go through all these things, because I didn't hear any videos about that. So, wrapping up, if you came for videos about turtles on the beach, my apologies. Maybe I'll create a new channel here. If I get, 10 or 15 views, God knows how the YouTube algorithm works. Maybe I get more than that. I don't know. Whatever I do, though, it'll be pretty simple because I don't have a ton of time. I don't want to be a YouTube content creator around carnivore. It's not my thing. I just wanted to share my experiences. I wanted you to hear firsthand from somebody who's, frankly, guys, I'm struggling a little bit. If you do want to offer some constructive, perspectives in the comments, please do. I'd love to hear your feedback. And maybe this is just me whining. Maybe this is me complaining. Maybe this is normal. I don't know if it is or it isn't. Apparently, based on all the videos I watch, it's abnormal because all the videos I watch, there should be angels flying out of my rear end right now, and there isn't. There's nothing flying out. It's a problem. So anyway, that's that. Thanks for checking it out. Maybe I'll be here in another 2 weeks. Maybe I'll be here in another week. Maybe you'll never see me again. Well, you'll see me again on my other podcast, CDO Matters. And maybe you'll see me on Florida Beach Living. But maybe you won't see another carnivore diet because maybe next week the angels will be aflight. Who knows? Thanks for checking it out. And more to come maybe in the future. Bye for now.